I'm from Kenya. I have a bachelor's in business, specialized in management.
I am a family physician from Venezuela.
I studied bachelor's in business in India.
I'm a journalist from Argentina.
I moved to Canada 4 years ago. I first came here just visiting, and I really like it here. Other reason why I end up moving here to Canada is the political and economical situation that my country, Venezuela, is facing now.
If you want to come here, you can come here as an international student, and then you can become a permanent resident. So that's kind of thought I had in my mind.
I moved to Canada because I got married with a Canadian and we weren't sure where to live around the world, and we tried different places. We thought to give it a try to the Comox Valley.
I couldn't find a job in Kenya, and I moved to Canada to try find a job here and practice what I was doing, like what I'd studied. That's why I came to Canada.
Whenever I used to get a call from Vancouver, I always got excited that, oh man, this is the city I'm planning to move down. So I used to ask them a lot of questions, that how's the work, is it easy, is it hard? So they used to tell me, oh yeah, it's so easy, it's not that hard, and especially you're working for Microsoft. But when I landed in the construction field, and I still remember when I was brooming, so embarrassed, and I was like dwelling about the past, that what I had thoughts about the Canada and how it is turning down.
Go to interviews and stuff, they always ask you the same question, where did you study? When you say out of country, they don't regard it as the same as you studying in Canada. My first job was at Walmart. I started as a maintenance, that's basically janitorial.
It took me 6.5 years and a lot of effort to become a doctor. I really would like to be working here and doing my career here in Canada.
The companies here, they want some Canadian experience. That's one obstacle. My work experience is not valid here in Canada, even if I worked for 6 or 7 years in journalism in Argentina. I would like to be working in something different here. I feel that working as a cleaner, it just happened, but it's not something that I want to be doing.
You can't practice what you came from, you are practicing in your home country. It won't help you here. You have to get other certifications here.
Foreign experience doesn't qualify. You must need a Canadian experience. Even I still remember when I was applying for like the sweeper or the cleaner, or like even a janitor, they were looking for an experience. So I was at time so surprised that how come someone has an experience to be a janitor? So those things are sometimes could be very humiliating, could be very challenging.
Working as a foreigner here in Canada sometimes can be a really vulnerable position. I was working before with other client, where the situation it wasn't the best. So I'd end in a work where I was being taken advantage of. I am doing things that were not part of my the duties of my job, like painting house, doing gardening, working overtime, not getting paid for overtime, or not getting paid the right amount.
It was not easy at all. I remember when I moved here, I had to face a lot of struggle. The owner of the company which I was working for, he was an East Indian, he also came from India. He used to give us $10 an hour for a work of maybe $25 an hour job.
You being a foreigner, you always have to work twice harder than other people. You have to prove yourself, because there's also the mentality that people always look at you and be like, you're not qualified. How did you get this job? You know, so you're constantly trying to prove yourself. And even in school, you know, they will teach a subject and assume you have a bachelor's, but they don't think you don't know the subject matter. So you always have to work twice as hard to show that you know what you're saying, you know what you're doing.
There is something missing in between those immigrants that come here, that are already skilled, that maybe have a profession or a degree in their countries, and then they come here and it's not easy to integrate the system. And then we find doctors working as caregivers and engineers working as dishwashers.
I really wish the government could do programs or ways that the process could be easier or cheaper. I understand that Canada have to require right qualifications and to go to a process because maybe even though I am a physician, the things that I do in my country or protocols, a way to work is different than here. But the process is still being really, really difficult. Even when a lot of friends and people that I talk with, when they find out that I am a physician, they say, "Wow, we need a doctor, so we don't have doctors." But the process is not easy.
So I did through World Education Services. It's on Ontario, Calgary home office, I can't remember. That's where you send your transcripts, they contact your university. It's a bunch of process, and after all that, they tell you if the degree is the same as what is offered in a Canadian university.
It's frustrating through the things that you have to go in order to practice your career or the career that you already study and to develop here as a professional. I am in the first stage of the process, that is certifying my documents and degree. Just opening the profile to send my documents. It costs $300, plus I have to translate the documents, and just for 3 pages translation it cost me $600. And the first exam, it costs $1,800. It can be a really expensive process.
Many people also asked me, well, you didn't know that this was going to happen before you decide to move to Canada? And no, honestly, I didn't know before coming that my title wasn't going to be valid.
It's not just come here, do the exams. You have to do immigration things. You have to pay for your daily expenses too. So you cannot just dedicate to do the exams. You have expenses like groceries, gas, house, daily living expenses. So it's a balance between that and your process to become a doctor too.
You can always find something to do. That's what I like about Canada. It just depends with how much you want to push yourself. You know, how far do you want to go? But I come from a country where there is nothing like that set for you, yeah?
Yeah, to do a process like this, you have to be constant with your goal, what you want. I know and I recognize that at the end, all the effort and everything will be worth it.
Ups and downs, that's how I believe the life should be like, right? Because if you don't have challenges, if you don't have fun, if you don't have adventure, then life is so boring.
I think Canada is a great country. I really want to be here. I love to see kids feeling that maybe my kids will be from here, from this land, and they will go to this school and they will have their friends here. That excites me a lot. So I really want to be part of Canada. I love Canada. That's why I just want to change things, because I think we can make it better.